Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sit Down Heauxs. Let me talk to you real quick here on Afrovibes TV. I'm your host, Christin, and I know that you guys missed me, so here I am in all my glory. Now, today I have a very special guest. Now, if you hear me reference her in the streets, I usually say, "Hey, yo, face," because she has the best face, and this face has been duplicated 3 other times with her 2 sisters and her mother, and they have the best cheekbones in the city of Houston. I would like to introduce everybody to one of my very best friends, my ace boom coon, Andrea.
Hi, guys.
Hello. I'm so excited to have you here today. I've been able to bring a couple of my friends on lately just with my schedule, and I really love to have these episodes more than anything because I feel like I can really be myself and allow everybody to see who I really am. Like, just so I got, are you my best friend in real life? Yes, this is not a play. I didn't just find a pretty bitch on the streets. I decided to actually bring someone I know in real life. She's met my mother and my father, my son, and we've been to each other's homes. Okay. So, I like to come on here and talk my shit, Andrea. I like to talk shit. And you know that. That's probably the reason why you like being my friend. Because
Every day in life.
I don't know how to be normal, and I'm not trying to be, right? So what I want to talk to you hoes about today is coming from a 2-parent household, okay? But I got to back it up a little bit so I can kind of set the stage on why this topic came up. So it was a few months back. I was hanging out with a very good looking, very wealthy, very talented man, very millionaire, very moisturized, very highly educated, because those are the type of men that I like to hang out with. Now, I may have been with some men that were some losers or some cheaters or something like that. Maybe even some thieves. I don't know. Maybe some liars. But they all had a check and they all look really good, okay? And they be light-skinned too, which is different. Because light-skinned people don't always age well. But for some reason, I be finding the high yellows that know how to stay moisturized. So anyway, I was hanging out with this very good-looking, rich, talented man. And we were spending time together doing our thing, laughing, talking shit, two-stepping, smoking weed. You know how real gangsters do. And very unsolicited, in the middle of our interaction, he said, "Hey, Chris, let me ask you a question." Because he called me Chris. Niggas be giving me little names and stuff. So he's like, "Chris, let me ask you a question. Do you come from a 2-parent household?" And I said, "What you mean by explain, nigga?" So he was like, "Your mom and your dad are growing up together, married." I said, "Yes." And they're still married today. And I was like, "Why'd you ask me that?" He goes, "Just from the way that you are, the way you move, how you behave, I 100% could recognize that you were definitely raised in a 2-parent household and your dad had a lot to do with raising you, right?" And then from there, kind of like, boom, that's a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing.
It's a thing. And so I started thinking about it more. And then I realized the 3 girls that I hang out with most in life: Andrea, Danielle, and Gail. Y'all have met Andrea today. You met Gail last week. And Danielle, child, we don't know when she's going. Danielle be in these streets, but we'll get her one day. All of us ladies have that one thing in common. We come from 2-parent households and our parents are still married.
Yep.
And then after these 2 girls, I know nobody else.
Yeah.
So tell me, what are your thoughts or experience on being from a 2-parent household?
So I think being from a 2-parent household has really given me a lot of confidence in life. With seeing both my mother and my father interact with each other, you learn a lot of things. You learn a lot of things that you might want and you maybe don't want in a relationship, and how to handle conflict a lot better than I think other people. And also just being more secure that, your parents are going to be there when you get home, and you're not wondering like where somebody is and you haven't seen them for weeks and things like that. Which is very fortunate. So I guess those are the couple of things if I think off the top of my head.
Yeah, definitely. And those are things like when you come up in that environment, it's something that you never even think is a thing. Like even in my own experience. So I got married when I was young and I had a child. But by the time my child was not even 1, I knew that marriage was over. So I left, and my son only knew a life of me and my mom, And when he got older and started going to school and interacting with other kids is when he found out, oh my God, moms and dads live together, right? And then he starts to ask me questions and bring these things up. And I'm like, I didn't even think that'd be a thing, you know? Most people, now some people are not like this. Most people, when they get married, they think I'm going to get married and stay together. No one's getting into a marriage thinking this is going to be good for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to, leave. But, I never would have imagined, especially coming from a two-parent household and coming from the South. Some people, you don't know, we're in Houston, Texas. We're very Southern, especially, I'm originally from Lafayette, Louisiana, even way more country and Southern. It's kind of like you get married and you stay married. You work it out and you do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Like even my dad told me one time, he was like, I mean, I know that men get divorced and all that, but I wouldn't even know how to leave your mama. That's not even like how, a different mentality. And other parts of the country, they kind of maneuver different ways. But definitely in the South, you just shut up and put up and stay at home with your family is a very normal thing, right? But also stating that it is good for women to be brave and leave relationships, if they are not, being treated right,
I feel that way.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, it's like you work it out, but also too, I've been divorced twice. I don't give a damn. I'll get married again. If it's not working, it's not working. I will definitely leave, and because I can definitely do single. I can definitely do pimp. I can definitely do I'll take your baby daddies when they get on your nerves, okay?
That's interesting though. It's interesting coming from a two-parent household and then being like, oh, well, I've been married and divorced and I'm fine.
Yeah.
And not putting that pressure on yourself to be staying with someone.
But it wasn't always like that though. This is new. I was desperate and pathetic and looking for anybody. Okay. We're not looking for anybody. I never been with anybody. I'm saying like I put up with things that I shouldn't put up with in the name of, oh my God. And all my siblings are in relationships. All my siblings are like locked down. I'm the only single one, and I'm better than them. And hey, if y'all watching, I'm saying I'm the best one at all.
I want to say you're better than that.
Because that's what siblings do. You know what I'm saying? Like you have two sisters. The rivalry is real, okay? And if they have a problem, they can text me or pull up on me. No, but that comes from healing. That comes from being a place of, at the end of the day, like I have to live for myself and love myself in the pressures of society. But for a very long time, I felt very inadequate as a person because I'm not married, because I have all those skills. But it's something that I know a lot of, at least I can say I've been married. Because some people, they haven't been married and they're never married.
Me.
Yeah. But and hey, look, you're much younger than me. You have time, and it's different, like, it's a whole different, situation. When I was young, I came up the country, I got married to survive twice, and I can say that. Both times I got married was for survival. Sorry, husbands. I liked y'all a lot. We could have had a good life together, but really I got married for survival, right? But I think that's different too, even with our parents' generations. It was different dating, meeting people and everything, like there wasn't all this internet in and out, just being able to find whatever's the hot topic for the time, So like people really chose people based off of different situations. Like literally, if I wanted to get married, I promise you, like if someone wants to put a really large wager, I want to take it. I promise you I can be married in 30 days with a man with some money that looks good. Promise you, it's very easy to do. But what about all the other stuff? Compatibility. I married a really rich man very quickly. My last husband, he had some money, but then I became his property. So there's always that thing.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
So I get happy in the fact of knowing that I'm single and I can be me and do me. Even like so I guess what I'm trying to say is that the joy of being able to know that I'm free and I'm happy and I can do what I want to do and no one's bringing me down feels better than the disappointment of being unmarried and divorced twice.
Yeah. And I have two siblings that are married and I have another sibling that is not married. They're all older than me and they all have different experiences in their marriages, in their relationships, being single. And as the youngest of four, and not being married, not even being close to married, it's very hard now for me to get into a relationship because I enjoy being single. I enjoy freedom. I enjoy my life and doing what I want to do. So I know because my parents are married and I've seen it all my life, I know how hard it is to be married. So like, you have to really be ready for that commitment and that, what's it called?
to be able to put the work in.
Yeah.
You know?
Put the work in. You have to sacrifice. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
Marriage is work. Marriage is a lot of work, and it can work if you want to put the work in, but it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like too, you know, even with my my marriages that didn't last, I don't feel like I allowed things to go bad for as long as some other women, because I did have that. Basically, I was able to tell, you know, these niggas like, you can't play with me because my daddy already gave me the game. You know, like you can try if you want to try to make me seem like the subpar way that you choose to treat me is normal. But my daddy already told me it's not, you know? So maybe you've met a girl who her daddy didn't tell her that. And I'm sorry for her that you're able to play with her, but not me.
That's right, though.
It's just,
you see it in front of your eyes. You're like, or they tell you, and you're like, you recognize it immediately, which is a benefit.
it is a benefit.
An advantage that women don't have, even men don't have, if you're dealing with certain things with women.
Yeah.
So,
because I'm talking more about the woman perspective, but it also can affect men in a certain way. But even after when my first marriage got bad and I was ready to go, my dad picked up the phone and called my husband and said, I never asked you to take my daughter. I don't need you to take care of her or my grandson. And I'm coming driving down Louisiana, and I'm coming to get what belongs to me. And I don't want no problems. And I'm going to take it back and take care of it. You know, like, and some women, they don't have that too. And even then my second husband started tripping, my dad had to call him and say, hey, look, I know that you were raised by a woman. That's why you act like one. But I was raised by a man, is why I act like one. So I know you can't deal with the fact she doesn't want you anymore. But I'm going to come once again, get my daughter and take care of mine. And my daddy, he'll be 65 next month, so he's young. He got a lot of time left to protect me from you niggas.
That's great. That's amazing.
Yes. But the thing is about it is like some people just don't even, you know, and even too when it comes to females, like when my dad met you and your sister, you know, he don't fool with too many people. He's an old man. He to himself, you know, he said, oh, them girls right there, some pretty girls. And I could tell they come from a good home. I like you hanging out with them. And later, and I was like, I want to go out with Andre tonight. Can y'all babysit Blaze? My dad was like, yeah, she cool. So even, you know, recognizing that part of it, like, you know, some of them little girls you hang out with, I don't like that, you know? Well, because her and her sister, you see how pretty she is. She has two sisters. There's two of them and they have to cheat. So yeah, my dad was like, they pretty, they nice, you know, and that discernment comes with men and with women. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I definitely, I want to talk more specifically about, you know, like dating situations and maybe a little funny, some little funny kiki moments we could talk about what we've experienced, you know, dealing with these dudes and the strength and the knowledge and the wisdom we gained from our fathers. Okay. So we're going to take a break. We're going to go and pay some bills, see what our sponsors have to say. And then when we get back, we're going to dive in more on Sit Down Hoes. Let me talk to you real quick here on Afrovibes TV. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sit Down Hoes. Let me talk to you real quick here on Afrovibes TV. I'm your host, Christin, and I'm still over here talking shit with my homegirl, Andrea. So before we went on to break, we were talking about coming from our single parent, or not coming from a single parent household, coming from a two-parent household. And I think I'm so used to just saying single parent household because that's just the norm for so many people. It is so bizarre to me that I just don't ever meet people, you know, on a regular basis that like don't have two parents that are married, you know? And like I said, coming from the South, it's just a totally different situation. But I remember when I first became friends with Andrea, man, like I thought Andrea hated me because she be looking at people like she wants to choose violence. No, don't try to smile now. She wasn't looking like that. Every time I see her, and she's a busy. She's always moving around and stuff, doing stuff. And then she'll just be chilling and she'll be drinking. And then all of a sudden she'll pop out of nowhere and start dancing and slow wind up. And she was in the corner straight chilling. But then she pop out with these dance moves. And I'm just like, this girl different. I don't think she like me. I think I dance. So then maybe she'll just come dance with me. But we had worked it all out. And I realized that's just a resting bitch face. And the bitch actually likes me. She cut for me. She shows up for me, you know, like when other people don't. She's just an amazing person. She's a Capricorn. Capricorns are doers. Okay. If you need something done, find a Capricorn. You know, my second husband was a Capricorn. That's why he was so rich. Anyway, I have this 20-year on again, off again boyfriend. I have dated the same boy since I was literally 19 years old. And so he's fun and great until he's not, right? So Andrea, when I first met her, I wasn't finagling with him. We go on and off, over the years. We good, then we not. So then we was not on, then we was on. And then he came into my life, right? So everything was great. And I think she enjoyed him. She enjoyed seeing me, with an actual nigga that I loved and wanted to be with. But then he had upset me and I cried. And Andrea like lost it. She was like, I've never seen you cry. Like I've never seen you get emotional like this over a man, like especially and cry in general about anything, at this point. And we know each other for a while. And she was just so shocked to see that I was actually crying behind these niggas because I'm all like, but that goes back to me not really giving a fuck a lot about men because of the game that my dad gave me,
Mm-hmm.
I was out getting emotional about, wanting to fight a bitch, getting crazy, cussing people out, doing all this stuff. But she had never seen me show any remorse behind a nigga because I really never cared, right? And I sat and I thought about that and I was like, damn, I know a lot of girls and the only thing they're ever talking about is how a man is hurting them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's all surrounded around like every conversation, every trauma. Some girls call me, oh my God, and he didn't call me. And then me, I'm like, yeah, girl, I fucked him. I gave him what he gave me, a nut. And it is what it is. Like just not caring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, have you had those kind of similar experiences?
Yeah, for sure. There's always, and I really can't stand to talk about that all the time. It really irks my nerves. So, but yeah, for sure. There's always women who are so obsessed with men and love these relationships that just make them cry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Done that. Been there, done that. But I have the reputation of cutting people off.
Savage. Young.
For the last 15 years.
Yeah. Cutoff game real strong.
Yeah.
Real strong. No,
So,
I have a good cutoff game too. And I think the difference, and I mean, I hit it with a dude today. I mean, yesterday I hit a dude with it. I said, look, I have no expectations of you. I only have desires for myself. And the level of love you have to offer me, I'm just not interested in. I don't want to fuck with you anymore. I withdraw my interest.
what do they say?
Call me. Like I texted,
Yeah, they try harder.
Then we got on the FaceTime, on the FaceTime. I said, I haven't talked to you in 32 days, sir. I said, here's the thing. I know that you are interested in me. Like, what's there not to like? I know there's something about me that you like,
Yeah.
but it's not enough, okay? Because I'm not a man. I cannot pursue you. I can show interest and I can be available. I've done that already,
Mhm.
I want to be pursued. I want to be courted. I want to be dated, okay? So if you're not going to do that, I'm not mad at you. You're not wrong. You don't need to change. But I'm just not fucking with it. And they're not used to that because, I mean, this is a good looking dude. He be wearing that Versace. He got a really nice specialized job. He got like the moon roof and everything, the red leathers interiors. And he's used to being able just to do the bare minimum. And a woman
That's true.
like me is gonna, no, I'm sorry. I want to be pursued and courted and dated.
Mhm.
My daddy will call me and pick me up and we'll go up to Frank's Grill and go have some breakfast. I have to pay, but it's the fact that like he wants to spend that time with me, like it goes back to, my dad and what he
Yeah.
taught me. So it's just like whatever it is you're doing, that don't impress me much. And these dudes are not used to it, but I'll be very straightforward with them and I'm not angry. And that's almost like what men are expecting, like for me to get some black girl attitude about something.
Mm.
I'm not angry. You're not wrong, and you don't need to change. I just don't want it.
Mm. Well, I could say, I guess going back to like dating. Okay, dating as far as like men who come from a two-parent household versus men who come from a single parent household. I say there's significant differences that I've seen
Oh yeah.
of how they at least treat me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're very respectful. Their demeanor is a lot calmer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They seem more grounded. I don't know what you think, but
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely say because even my first husband and my 20-year on and off love, they both come from two-parent households, right? With my first husband, I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not paid to.
Mhm.
My first husband, like he was very intentional. My mom and dad are married. They gave me land. I'm from the country. I don't want to, play games with you. I want to marry you. And then 6 months later, he asked me from the day he laid eyes on me. Remember that, boo? If you're watching? 6 months after meeting me, you couldn't live without me. Anyway, so that, right? And then even with my 20-year on and off boyfriend, like he doesn't believe in monogamy, that's what he doesn't believe in. And like, he doesn't want to like be in this relationship, but he's still, super dated me. Every time I see him, give me a gift, take me to a nice restaurant.
He's a love bomber?
Huh? Yeah, and he will come. He will come and love bomb and like give me all these crazy words and affirmations and let me know that at the end of the day, like I probably should be with you and I probably do believe in monogamy. But even because he saw that love and that with his parents, even though he doesn't want to be married, he still chose me as the girl that he was going to love and give all that romance to and consistency to for 20. I could call him right now. He'd be like, "What's up, baby? You want to go out tonight?" If he's in town, we're doing it. And it's like, even though he could never give me the real relationship I wanted, him coming from that 2-parent household caused him to treat me with romance and to always pursue me and date me and court me. 20 years into the game, he's coming to pick me up for a date and he has flowers, and I feel like it's because he got out. Yeah. Yeah. Last time I had seen him, he had little gifts for me and everything. And we'd be going to strip club, he'd give me little dollars and everything. We have a great time.
But I put them in your pocket.
Yeah, I can put them in. Hey, sometimes I do. Actually, I had taken like 2 gold with diamond Cuban link change from his house. He didn't know. And then he didn't know. Why? I gave it back, but I had put them on and I sent him a video and I was like, "Curbans on curbans, my shit is laid, ho." And then he responded back, "Oh, I love those. I have some just like it." This is yours. Yeah, so there does make a difference, and even like with my second husband, he came from a single parent household and he acted very feminine all the time and wanted to resolve problems like a girl, and I started to recognize that and he would be like really needy and fussy and he was like 12, 13 years older than me, but he acted like a child. And it was just like, he was so wanting me to just be everything on him all the time, focused on him. And I think that's because he came from that type of situation. And I recognize that because now my son, it comes from a single parent household. But the thing is, my parents live 10 minutes from me and they're still married, So I drop him off over there on the weekends. He does things with my mom and dad together. He sees that family unit and I make sure he's outside with my daddy, changing the oil, cutting the grass and hearing the word no, because I don't want to smother him. And he looks just like me. He's the sweetest boy ever. And he had a very difficult birth coming into this world. So I just want to coddle him, but I don't want to turn him into a bitch. I don't want some girl 20 years later being, "That little Blaze is so damn feminine, girl." I don't want that, So like, I gotta focus on those things.
That's always good too. I didn't even think about that.
I don't want my son.
He still has the example.
Yeah, he still has the example. He still has it, and then I have my brothers, that are both 6'4" and they tote a gun. So play with me if you want to, especially you nigga. That's another thing too. I got brothers. My mom is one of 14 kids. I have 9 uncles.
Yeah.
I have 9 uncles, and the shortest one is like 5'11" out of all my uncles, and they're all country, and they'll whoop your ass. So it's just like, I just can't let no dude play with me. Like this girl was calling me the other day talking about this boy. I said, "Girl, I would call him back and say to him, if you don't stop playing with me, I will fuck your best friend or your daddy or your son, because I can do all of it." All of it. Excuse me, I date older men. So if you're 55 years old, I will fuck your best friend, your brother, your daddy, or your son. I'm at that age where I can do it all, because I don't give a damn. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. And I feel like a big part of the week, because like at the end of the day, men want you, but they don't give you what it is that you desire, what you deserve, right? So it's like, I feel like if you didn't have the foundation that you come from, and like we're talking about the dad's law, but also our mothers too, our mothers that showed us the discernment, showed us the femininity, showed us what it took to be able to really take control of these niggas. Because my mama got my daddy in her pocket, in her bag, like it don't matter, anything. And my dad told me, "My wife is my gift from God in my rib. She's the most important thing to me." So our mothers also taught us these things as well, right? Yeah. My mother told me, you should have checked me one day. If you would act more like me, you'd probably have a husband that makes sense. Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. Because mine's here. 45 years, he's here. You've had several. Okay. So I feel like the reason why is because you're not finna play with things and
Yeah.
like and like you're like and I know you've been comfortable in your singleness for a long time and I'm coming into it, and honestly when I think about I take an account of my life, the best years of my life so far, and I'll be 39 next 30 days from now. I'll be 39. I know I don't look like it. In 28 days I'll be 39. I mean 30 days I'll be 39. But I feel like I'm just getting comfortable in it now, you know what I mean? Because over all these years of my life, the best years of my life, I made the most money and I look the best when I'm single.
Hmm. That's what I'm saying. Well, in my 20s, I dated all my 20s. So that took a lot of time. And that I feel like it held me back a lot.
Hmm.
So once I was done with my last relationship, I was like, I don't want to get into another relationship for a while. I want to work on myself. I want to work on all my dreams, my goals, my ambitions, and not spend time trying to be with someone.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I have to learn because it was like, okay, I wanted to get married. I wanted to have the marriage and the partnership and all this and all that. But that takes a lot of time.
Hmm.
And I have goals. Like you said, I'm a Capricorn. I want money all the time. That's what fuels me. That's what makes me happy.
Yes.
Being successful, whatever my version of success is what I want. So, but I also learned that people can come from a two-parent household and still like women can still have daddy issues.
Oh yeah.
Still
Definitely,
have
definitely.
like I guess mommy issues
Yeah,
and
it's,
things
it's
like
not
that.
just like a formula or anything like that. But even, me, I've had my own set of daddy issues, even having my dad around, like of the pressures or like some of the things he would say to me or the things he would put on me. And I realized that sometimes as a child, me chasing my dad's approval translated to me chasing men's approval in the future.
Mhm.
And if I didn't have a dad around, like a lot of my other friends, then I wouldn't have had that trauma. So it brings trauma, good and bad ways, and everyone deals with those
Yeah.
things. But I just think that a lot of times that's the way that God intended it to be.
Mhm.
It takes two to make a child. God intended two to
Yeah.
raise a child. So chances are, most times more than not, it's going to be a good situation.
Yeah.
And you're going to produce some great, well-adjusted women like us. We're moisturized. We have all this. Ain't no wigs over here today. This is all natural from the scalp. Okay. We'll teach you how to grow some hair if you'd like. Well, I really appreciate you for coming on and talking to me today about all these issues. And I hope that we can do it again. And you can bring on your
It
friends.
was fun.
It was fun, yes. And there's a lot more things we could talk about. Like we could really talk bad about you, hosts. But we decided to talk about the good things today that we love. We love you, mom and dad.
I love you, mom and dad.
So I had so much fun with you, Andrea, and I hope that everybody has a great rest of the week. Until next time here on Sit Down Hoes, let me talk to you real quick. It's your girl, Christin, signing off.